In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to learn new skills quickly is more valuable than ever. Whether you're trying to master a new language, pick up a musical instrument, or acquire professional skills, learning efficiently can give you a competitive edge. This article will explore a variety of strategies and techniques that can help you learn anything fast. Before diving into specific techniques, it's essential to understand the cognitive science behind learning. Our brains are remarkably adaptable, capable of forming new connections and pathways of process, known as neuroplasticity. When we learn something new, our brain creates and strengthens these connections, making it easier to recall and apply knowledge in the future. Understanding how your brain works can help you optimize your learning process. For instance, our brains are wired to remember information better when it's presented in a way that's meaningful and connected to prior knowledge. This is why making associations and linking new information to what you already know can be incredibly effective. One of the most crucial steps in learning anything fast is setting clear, specific goals. Vague goals like, "I want to learn French," can be overwhelming and hard to achieve. Instead, break down your goal into something more specific, like, "I want to be able to hold a 10-minute conversation in French within 3 months." Setting SMART goals specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound can give you a clear roadmap and make it easier to track your progress. For example, instead of saying, "I want to learn guitar," a SMART goal would be, "I want to learn to play 5 basic chords on the guitar and transition smoothly between them within 2 weeks." When faced with learning something new, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. The key is to break down the skill into smaller, manageable chunks. This technique, known as chunking, allows you to focus on mastering one aspect of the skill at a time, making the learning process less daunting. For instance, if you're learning to code, start by understanding basic concepts like variables, loops, and functions before moving on to more complex topics. By mastering each chunk, you build a strong foundation that makes learning the entire skill easier and faster. The Pareto principle suggests that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. When applied to learning, this means focusing on the most important and impactful aspects of the skill first. For example, if you're learning a new language, focus on the 20% of vocabulary and grammar that is used 80% of the time in everyday conversations. This approach allows you to gain functional proficiency quickly, enabling you to use the language in practical situations much sooner. Active learning involves engaging with the material in a way that forces you to think critically and apply what you've learned, as opposed to passively consuming information. Techniques like retrieval practice, where you actively recall information, and spaced repetition, where you review material at increasing intervals, have been shown to significantly improve retention. The Feynman technique is another powerful active learning method. It involves teaching the concept you're trying to learn to someone else, or even to yourself. By explaining it in simple terms, you're forced to identify gaps in your understanding, which you can then work to fill. Application is one of the most effective ways to reinforce learning. As soon as you learn something new, find a way to apply it in a real-world context. This could be as simple as using new vocabulary in conversation when learning a language or writing a small program when learning to code. The more you apply what you learn, the deeper your understanding becomes, and the faster you can progress. Practical application also makes learning more relevant and engaging, helping you stay motivated. Teaching is a powerful way to reinforce what you've learned. When you teach, you're forced to organize your knowledge and present it in a way that makes sense to others. This process not only deepens your understanding, but also highlights any areas where your knowledge may be lacking. You don't have to be an expert to teach. Even as a beginner, explaining concepts to a friend, writing blog posts, or creating instructional videos can solidify your learning and make the material more accessible to others. In the digital age, we have access to an unprecedented amount of information and tools to aid our learning. Online courses, educational apps, and platforms like YouTube offer a wealth of resources that can help you learn almost anything. Use these tools to supplement your learning. For instance, if you're learning a language, apps like Duolingo or Memrise can provide structured lessons, while YouTube channels offer pronunciation tips and cultural insights. Forums and online communities can also be invaluable for getting feedback, sharing ideas, and staying motivated. Consistency is key when it comes to learning anything fast. It's better to study or practice a little every day than to cram all your learning into 1 or 2 intense sessions. Regular, consistent practice helps reinforce what you've learned and makes it easier to build on that knowledge. Discipline is also crucial. Create a learning schedule that fits into your routine and stick to it as much as possible. This might mean setting aside 30 minutes each morning to study or dedicating your commute to listening to educational podcasts. The concept of a growth mindset, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. Embracing a growth mindset can significantly enhance your ability to learn quickly. When you believe that you can improve with effort, you're more likely to persist through challenges and setbacks. This mindset encourages you to view failures as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as indications of your limitations. Effective time management is essential for fast learning. Prioritize your tasks and focus on the most important ones first. Techniques like the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, can help you stay focused and productive. Balancing learning with other life commitments can be challenging, but with careful planning, it's possible. Use tools like calendars, to-do lists, and time-tracking apps to keep yourself organized and ensure you're making the most of your time. Physical and mental well-being play a significant role in how effectively you can learn. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, and sufficient sleep all contribute to cognitive function, memory, and concentration. Taking breaks is also important. Studies have shown that our brains retain information better when learning is spaced out with breaks, rather than crammed into long, uninterrupted sessions. Make sure to give yourself time to rest and recharge, so you can return to learning with renewed focus and energy. Regular self-assessment and reflection are crucial for effective learning. Take time to reflect on what you've learned, how well you've learned it, and what you can do to improve. This might involve reviewing your progress, identifying areas where you're struggling, and adjusting your strategies accordingly. Adapting your approach based on feedback and self-reflection ensures that you're always learning in the most efficient and effective way possible.